Excellent.
Now I wish I could remember the name. We're live. Hi, everybody. We'll let people come in. Um, so, David, I was listening to the show. I love Coast to Coast, by the way. And they were talking about uh, realities. And there were some certain things that people swear happened or was a product that was out and it never really had that product or it never really happened. And when people talk about this peanut butter that we have, Jif peanut butter, well, I swear that we had Jiffy peanut butter. And they go, no, there was never such a thing. And when I think there was a rumor that Nelson Mandela died. People remember watching TV and watching his funeral, and it didn't happen. He hadn't died then. I mean, weird stuff. And I'm like, there's a game called Monopoly, and they were asking the people, did the Mr. Moneybanks, whatever his name was, did he have a monocle? And everybody's like, yes. And he never did. So they're talking about, how maybe we are slipping in and out of realities. And I thought that was so interesting. Hey, Carlos. So I don't know. I just thought, I don't know if you guys, ever discuss anything like that before. But apparently they're doing it here because they were talking about it on the show.
I think it's fascinating. I'm sure we've all had some experiences like that where we think something happened and it didn't happen, and we think, did I dream it? And even yesterday or the last few days, I thought, I keep searching for an email and I cannot find this email. And I'm like, but I'm sure there was this email. And I was talking to someone at a university, and I was like, I'm sure I got this email and it said this and it said that, and she's like, yeah, that's correct, that sounds right. And I'm like, but where is the email? It disappeared. I don't know where it is. And she's like, I don't know if what you said was correct. Like, so I don't have the answers. I mean, I think we are sitting in an illusion. It is a projected kind of consciousness. It's all space. If you look from a quantum perspective, it's fascinating. Particles are space. There's nothing that's solid at all. Even rocks have a sense of consciousness. They are, at least when you look deeply, they are space there, and they are moving. They're not static. We see a rock that is just stuck. Seems like it's so solid and it's stuck. It's not moving, but if you look deeply, it is moving, and it does have a state of consciousness. There is, it's obviously it's not interacting with its environment like we are, but it's not complete. It's not like it's dead matter. So what I'm saying is, all the world around us is alive, although, clouds, there's a sense of consciousness of being alive, which is interdimensional. There's a quantum field. It's multidimensional. It's part of the projection. It's all fascinating. So I'm excited about these kind of conversations because it's very cosmic, and there's no absolute truth, and we're swimming in this field of consciousness, and intention's so important, fun is so important. So we play with this field of consciousness. We're not stuck into serious lower vibration, or we're just taking life too seriously, because why take anything so seriously when it's not stuck, it's not permanent, it's not solid. Nothing is like that. So I think it does open the mind and help us to play more, essentially. What do you feel?
I was waiting for that. I was waiting for you to say play, because I was like, oh gosh, I'm going to open my mouth and say, don't take it seriously or whatever, because you're so wanting people, which is correct, to go and find the fun and the play in life and enjoy it. But this was freaky to me, because I was one of the people going, yeah, that's right, and it wasn't. Yes, that's right, and it wasn't. And they're talking about like some of the people go through a different reality and we come out and we kind of meet in another one. And that's why they're saying that some people, have these memories and some people don't. And I was on the Jiffy peanut butter train. I was like, yeah, there's Jiffy peanut butter. And then it's like, no, there's Skippy and there's Jif, but there's no Jiffy. And it's just like really, really weird when they had all these things. And I was like, yeah, that's that. Yeah, I remember that. No, we don't. So
Well,
crazy.
it does open the mind so much to the different expressions of it within the quantum field. So there isn't one Debbie. There's a Debbie with blue hair. There's a Debbie with pink hair. There's a Debbie with purple hair, and you can sort of connect to those consciousnesses, connect to those possibilities, those projections, because it's out there in some alternative universe. So the quantum side is that there are these alternative universes, and in another universe, maybe you're president, who knows.
Of course, I expect that.
So they say, well, there's an infinite number of universes. I find that hard to comprehend, that it could be infinite number of universes. But I do feel that in another universe there is different peanut butter, and that's real. In other verses, I felt like the Queen was dying for a long time, and then it was kind of finally she died, and I was like, oh. And something like that, a lot of people also were. It's a little bit confusing when something's kind of, you're feeling it's happening, and did it already happen, and is she still alive, and all these kind of questions, and people who seen in different places at the same time, and all these interesting.
Well, the doppelganger thing, I actually finally went and saw someone that I went to school with, and she had been in LA, Los Angeles, at some kind of event or concert or something, when they saw somebody in line and they asked to take her picture. And they kept telling me that they have a picture of somebody that looks just like me. And I said, did you get her name, phone number, anything? No. And I'm like, oh, come on. I want to see somebody who looks like me. I'm telling you, it's been 30 years or whatever. And I got a letter in the mail, and there was this picture, and this lady looked just like me. Wow. Back in the day, just like me. And I was like, whoa. Wow. But my sister had somebody in a department store that said, do you work at like Walmart or something like that? And she goes, no. And she says, look at your twin does, because somebody looks just like you is a cashier there. And we never went looking, but I think that's really interesting, since, are we related or not? But this girl, I was looking at this photo, I go, oh my gosh, absolutely, she looks like me.
Wow, a doppelganger. Yeah, well, yes. They say we all have one, and it's but really, what is the mind? What do we see? Because we don't see reality. So there's an illusory nature of how our brain works, which our brain kind of perpetuates. Like, this is what a tree looks like, but it's not how a tree actually looks like. It's all perception, really, and our brain perceives it in a certain way. Our eyes see certain colors, we don't see other colors, and we also have the survival mechanism within us to function in this world, our reptilian brain, and it helps us to survive. So we are a biological mechanism as well, and that guides some of our senses. So it doesn't guide us to see things that are out there that maybe will not help us survive.
And there's so many things out there too. Some people can see the ghosts.
Yeah, and that's amazing too. Like, when you see, like, sometimes I've seen certain things, but I had a lot of experiences with the spirits, and it's it's real. These things are real, and when you experience them, then you don't doubt it. It's not like, oh, it's not a question mark. It's absolutely, those things are real. And some of them you don't want to necessarily entertain. They're not all good. They're not all bad. It's like human beings. You've got to filter it. You've got to, gauge. You have to gauge, discern what a person's like, what a spirit is like. Can't just be open. You cannot just open yourself up to everything.
There's Marie has a comment. My daughter, who is 3, told me she sees ghosts. Wow. That's amazing. I want to tell you, I was watching Coast to Coast, or listening to it. I love that show. But they were talking, they opened lines for people that have seen things. So one guy got on there and saw reptilians. And then he went on and he said he saw a dog man, like a dog man. And just all these creatures. And I'm just sitting there going, wow. I don't really want to probably see any of those, but he saw it and he described everything.
I just think it would be so interesting to visit other planets and see what animals are living there and what they look like and all the variations. It would be so, and there'd be a lot of things that are similar to this planet. It'd be a lot of similarities, and I'm sure similar environments like Earth wouldn't look so different. It may look the same. It may be a lot of very similar creatures, but I think human beings are living, or at least humanoids are living in a whole lot of different other planets as well.
Well, hang in there. Avatar 2 is coming out.
Wow, that's exciting. It's exciting, and I think just traveling through space is a really something people talk about a lot, because they just don't know if we can break the speed of light, if that's possible. And I think there's these sort of portals that you can move through that sort of overcome those barriers. And I always hear about intention and consciousness being such a strong element in space travel and in moving in transport. So transport, how we view transport is really interesting. And Star Trek, I love Star Trek. I think that's really ahead of its time. So many cool concepts there. The teleportation.
I don't watch it anymore. I don't watch it anymore.
The teleportation device. That was the best.
Oh, of course. That's not going to happen, but I get it. Yeah, there was like when they first were trying that. What is it called, you guys? That the teleporter thing. Anyway, they like messed up people and they, and stuff. And I was like, oh no, I don't want to do that. They'll scramble the molecules, But no, it really opened up, I think, people thinking about inventions and different things like that. I think it had a great impact in the world, of looking into space and the possibilities and different things that they would need, and so it's all good. I know myself, I mean, some of you have heard my story about opening a portal and getting a code word out of it for a client. And that's when I knew, okay, this is real, that you can open those portals and you can see through. And I did. And the guy in the portal told me a word, and I brought it back and told my client, and we were streaming live. There's people there. And that code word was real. So I go, okay, how did I do that if there wasn't a portal? So, they're probably just absolutely everywhere.
A lot of portals, yeah.
But anyway, be fun.
Wormholes through consciousness. And a very good book was called The Holographic Universe. That was a really interesting book. I don't know if anyone heard of that book. It was, I think, about 20 years ago, or no more. I think in the 1990s it was published. And that was just how everything's a projection, and we have the universe within us, and everything has the patterns of the universe within everything else. So it's a fascinating book. It's kind of like a quantum leap. holographic theory, that a holographic universe.
Ooh, that's interesting. I think there's so much that we don't know. And I think I do know when we go in and we look at everything and we go, okay, we can look at space and we can look at time, we can look at dimensions and aliens and spirits and on and on and on. You know, it's huge. It's huge. But there, again, you would say it's all connected, you know, because of that consciousness thing. And so I just think that it's so complex. And I'd sure like to know about all the portals. And I deal with the ones where they, you know, where people say that they have something, you know, activity in a room or something, or, you know, they feel like a spirit comes in and out of that area. So I deal with that, you know, I just call it haunted houses, you know, type of thing. But
the dying process is also a portal. When people die, they're into the portal. The NDEs also discuss the portals. So it's not just it's interdimensional. It's moving through dimensions, and so yeah, I think portals are great. There's must be a lot of portals, as you say, and I wonder with all you know, people see a lot of UFOs, and I just wonder if some of them come from a different universe, if that's even possible, and they're able to swim through a wormhole and come here from another universe, and perhaps only some people can see them, and most people cannot see them with a physical eye, because it's a different field that they're vibrating in. They're in a different dimension. Because I had a friend who could see a lot of UFOs, and he said, yeah, other people don't see them, and I see them. And I thought that was really curious, that there may be something that we cannot see it, but it's still there, and somebody else may have a special ability to see it. And he could see spaceships, and it was like in the middle of a city, he would see a spaceship flying above, and nobody else would be able to see it. So
wait a minute, who was that?
Oh, a friend.
Oh my gosh. Did you say it was really gigantic?
Yeah, he saw some big ones. Yeah, and he said other people couldn't see it. And he was actually pretty professional, kind of working man. He wasn't like he was quite functional, quite successful in the world. So it didn't, you know, he wasn't in a mental health asylum or hospital or anything like that. He was actually a career man. And he was seeing these UFOs, and other people couldn't see them. And so he said it's a different dimension, and some people just have those abilities to see things that other people cannot see, because of all we only see certain frequencies.
Well, the people that I know that have seen UFOs are very credible, very, very credible. The one person that worked for the U.S. Forest Service, and he was like a lookout. They'll have a tower, and they'll be up there, and their duty is to look for fires. Well, he told me the most incredible story, and it was weird because he was telling how big the ship was. The UFO was huge, and it was dark, and it had lights and portals, people or beings in there. Didn't make any sound, all this stuff, but it was huge. And then I met some people that were very extremely credible people, retired, that told of their UFO story. They were my mother-in-law's friends for decades, and they had gone camping, and what they told me was the same thing. What they saw was the same thing. It just described years ago by that lookout. And that's when I knew. I was like, there's something out there. Because these people are not going to make this up. I mean, they almost don't want to even tell you, thinking, I don't know what they're going to think about this. But because I connected, those two spaceships were the same size and did the same things in both stories that I got. And these people are not connected in any way. And that's when I was like, okay, I really believe that these people, what they saw. Absolutely. But they did say, the retired couple did say that they saw it like escorted by like gray helicopters with no markings on them. So interesting.
There's a lot coming out in the military. The military have a lot of records and as you said, very credible people, especially pilots during World War II had so many experiences with that. And some of it could be military experiments. Some of it could be projections. When people see something, is it a physical manifestation? It could be a projection as well. It's fascinating. It's a fascinating field of consciousness in which we live and experience and project outwardly as well. So we're part of the projection. We're part of the consciousness.
When you look at it too, what crossed my mind is these people that saw like angels and they were saved. Like maybe there was a car accident and an angel came down and, saved their lives, or some, pushed the car off of them or did some kind of miraculous thing. To me, that seems very credible because I see that kind of stuff. Again, you even said it, if we see it, then we can understand, okay, this is real. The first time I had something talk to me, I was like, am I okay? Physically, is my mind all right? Everything working? And then when everything's working, you understand you did see that or you're experiencing that. And so I really believe that the angels or people from the other side come and assist when they're called for or when they're needed in some way. I really believe these people are seeing that.
And that would be fascinating to hear people's experiences with spirit, because when you hear extraordinary stories, I just find it so inspiring when people's lives are saved by interventions and spirit guides coming in to help them stop, especially things happening when you're driving cars and you're facing dangers and accidents, and there's some intervention that happens and you're like, oh, something just happened. Spirit guide. Wow.
So Marie wants to meet them face to face.
Yeah, Marie, from my understanding, there is usually a central spirit guide that comes with you in your life journey, but there's other spirit guides around you as well. It won't just be one. Particularly, say you're going on a trip to France and you want to go skiing in the French Alps, or maybe there will be a guide that will come along and help you with your skiing, just as an example. And I believe we can call up guides to help us as well with specific tasks, like something we're not familiar with. And I do think we all have an ability to channel and to connect to abilities that perhaps came from past lives or from other people. Because if I have a special ability, I do think you have the ability to project onto that, to connect to it, to tap into it, almost like a waterfall. And if I'm under a waterfall, then that is a possibility. It's a part of the infinite creativity of the cosmos, where everything is actually possible creatively. We just need to tap into it.
So Marie, I asked the other side, and they're showing me that you have 4 main, guides with you. And so, we have angels and we have guides, but I'm getting 4 strong ones with you. And I feel like right now they're just kind of helping you figure out the future, by the way. So, but they'll be with you. I had a lot of things happen in my life that I really do feel like that the spirit guides, intervened and came in. I had a lot of close calls in my life, and one near-death experience and some really close ones. And but I was always, saved. And so I go, who did that for me? Who got me through a near drowning and explosion and lightning. One of the things I did as a kid, I would hang right in front of the TV, and I was doing that when lightning hit and went through our home. And when the people came later, and they took the back off the TV because the TV looked absolutely fine, they saw it completely melted, and they said this should have blown up with the glass going out that way. That's how this works. It wouldn't have melted. It would have blown straight out, and it would have taken my face. So when these things happen, you go, I think that was a miracle. And I do feel like the other side stepped in. And it's happened so many. You wonder why these near death things keep coming at me. I think I've had enough, everybody, but I had a lot of them. So just interesting. So
Wow.
Marie, Maria, if you want to meet them face to face, you think you saw them in your sleep. They do communicate at night. They do communicate in your dreams. Absolutely. I think if you saw them, you can rely on that being, what they look like. But I also feel like sometimes maybe they don't have a certain look. It's what we are, when they come bring a spirit, they'll come as something I know, and then they'll morph into who they are. So it might be something that you want to see, in your dream. Maybe they can change their looks.
Yeah, absolutely, Debbie. Yeah, I think we live in a society at school. They indoctrinate us into thinking everything is so fixed, and so when you talk about that, it's fascinating how they can take on a different form. And when we become spirit, we can take on different forms. We can move around instantaneously, travel around. Limitations are removed from us. We become spirit, and so spirit can take on, like water. It can just take on different vessels to move into. Put it in a cup, it will be a certain shape. Put it in a mug, whatever, a glass, it will be a different shape. It'll just be instantaneous.
Do you astral project?
I had, as a kid, I was very active with that traveling. I was always traveling with that. So I would lie down on my back and just travel. Now I'm a little bit caught up in the world, so it's less less straightforward, because I tend to just get stuck into worldly matters, things I need to do, and the list of things. So absolutely, because we're spirits, maybe we just, it's like we forget who we are, but that's who we are at our core. And reminders are helpful, just to remind us, okay, this is none of this is real. It's all an illusion. It's short term, but beyond that, we're these infinite cosmic spirit beings, and that's the true reality. So the darkness we may feel, it's just temporary. It's just short-lived. It's going to pass, and it's important to breathe through it and see it more like dancing. I always think dancing is how we do life. Just ups and downs. Just keep dancing, keep moving through it. Nothing is too serious, and nothing will last forever, except for our souls.
Wow. Where do you want to go when you transition from this life?
Well, I would love to visit some different planets like the Pleiades and different higher consciousnesses, and see how other beings are creating communities and what technologies they have. I love temples, so I'd love to see what temples are out there, and architecturally what people are doing, as well as understand things like the pyramids. I would love to go back in time and see the pyramids, how they were in their pristine form, not, how many thousands of years later. Some people say they were covered in gold, for instance. So it would just be wonderful to be able to travel through time and see a golden pyramid in its brand new, just newly built, and just see that and understand what they were for and how they were built and what they were used for, because there's so many amazing theories about the pyramids and ancient civilizations.
Oh, I totally want it. What is it? The roads, the the Colossus, the seventh world wonders of the world. Isn't there that Colossus, that giant statue that was built? They're talking about building it again, but going and seeing anything that was the seven, wonders of the world, and when it would, seeing, make sure it was there and seeing it so beautiful or whatever. I would just love that. Got to take a trip to Atlantis. Got to do that. Yeah. Absolutely.
Atlantis. Yeah, that would just be wonderful.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And
I don't know. You've opened up so much more than when I grew up. When they talk about astral projecting, it was just like, you got a cord and you'll be lucky to get to the moon. You're just going to go down the neighborhood or, look somewhere. I don't know that I ever did that before, actually. So I don't know. Probably we did it and we didn't know. We didn't know we went somewhere.
Yeah, I think that's true. We do things and we're just not aware of them, and we don't put a label on it, and we don't go, oh, now I'm astral projecting. You're just like, no, my mind wandered.
Well, when I was
I was just thinking of school.
Walter. Do you know Walter Mitty? The Secret Life of Walter Mitty?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was probably me, with
Did
this
you
other
see
life.
the film? They made a film recently.
Well, yeah, that was good. That was good. That was okay.
I enjoyed it. I related to it. So
I read the book when I was really young, and I go, yeah, daydreaming and this and that. I wish I would have known then that can lead to the law of attraction and bringing stuff in. Okay, I can see this coming. I'm going to daydream about the lottery or whatever.
Well, I think of just for me, I think, well, I was daydreaming all the time, and I must have been traveling a lot, because now in my life, I've been to, I think, something like 30 countries. I've been to so many countries, and I'm just like, wow, how did that happen? I don't know.
It's called being a nomad.
Yeah.
Going everywhere and doing that. And so Seashell said that she would feel a little breeze blowing in her face, and if something important occurs, you would dream it as well. So there's all kinds of ways that people can get in messages from the other side or know something's going to happen. And the most common thing is mother's intuition. I think everybody grew up with that, and people didn't know that they were talking about like psychic ability and stuff, but at the time. But I think mothers are very connected to their children, and there's physical things, like if you hear silence, you better run and see what they're doing, what the kids are doing.
Yeah, it's an amazing thing, because I remember I was in preschool and I had some kind of accident, and my mom came running, and this was the days before cellular phones or mobile phones, and she came running, and literally she just felt something.
Felt it. Yeah. Well, that's when I had the feeling, and my husband was saying you're being a helicopter mom, and I snuck into a back room and got on my computer and sent a message, are you okay? And he said, you must be psychic because I just dumped my motorcycle on the freeway. And that's when I was on the phone. Okay, leave the motorcycle, get off the freeway.
Wow.
And I just knew. But, I did that, the precognition, where I want to just yell out that probably wasn't a good idea, that my son had an auger, with the hole to go through and make the holes in the grass, and he was wearing flip-flops. So I wanted to yell out, and I said, no, you're always told you're a helicopter mom. And I walked 4 steps, 5 steps, and my husband swung open the door screaming, and we were on our way to the ER with our son when he had put it through his big toe.
Oh,
so,
wow.
So I think that mother's intuition, you guys probably, if you agree with me, tell me in the comments. I really do think the moms have that ability to go, something's not right.
Yeah, absolutely they do. And I just feel it's fascinating. And it's, if they have that ability, we all have that ability to some extent. And maybe fathers can develop it too. And I just feel it's relevant to talk a little bit about Australia, because there's such a rich culture, such a rich history here, which I feel is kind of sadly has been sort of suppressed, and people don't really celebrate it in the world. That whenever we talk about dreams, I always think of Australian Aboriginal, which is called First Nations. That's what it's. There's all these labels for people, but First Nations I really like, and I think that's the preferred title. But First Nations people, they have a philosophy called the dreaming. Did you know about that, Debbie?
No, I didn't.
So their philosophy is actually called the dreaming, and I just love that. It's so beautiful, and it's such a beautiful. It's just such a beautiful vision of the spirits being interrelated and connected, and the interconnection of all things, and the spirit ancestors still live on the land, and they were part of the creation. So I'm sure I'm not explaining it very well, but it's like the ancestors are alive. They're part of the land, and they create life, and they're an important part of some of the sacred mountains and different formations and sites, which are still sacred because they have the spirits. They're alive with the spirits, and the spirits are creating them. And so the dreaming is this creation of interrelation of all things. So
wow, that's cool.
I think it's really cool, and yeah, it's something that's alive. It's a culture that everything's alive, and it's all happening now, but it's past, present, future now. And they have concepts like every, when, which is hard to explain. That it's I just love dream time. They have dream time, and yeah, it's.
We have a list. We have a list of people that want readings. So I'm looking at the clock, so we probably should do some. Marie and Seashells and Sandy. So are you ready to take some cards with me?
Yeah.
Okay, here's Marie. Marie doesn't have a profile pic. So I know that you like to connect to those. I'm going to grab some cards. Thank you for coming through YouTube. Okay, I'm going to turn them over. Oh gosh, here's the best card that comes up for you, Marie. It's the World card. That's the first card down. And you know why I love this? Because you're all about getting your desires, reaching your goals, making a change for the better in your home, your career, everything. You want to see the world. I mean, you've got this great card that represents you. So go do it. Manifest everything in. I also get a King of Swords. So crossing over your temporary energy is this. Now, this could be you or someone else. I get a strong personality, justice theme of what's right and wrong, very intelligent, but big personality woman. Okay, so this person can be important, thinking of them coming in, or it could be you. I get in the future position this wonderful card. It's a success card and a happy card. It's called the Sun card. I use it for when I want to look to see about children too, but it really means to me maybe a possible career offer, some opportunity comes in the future. Also in the past position, I feel like your ship came in, almost like I got something, I really put something out there and I got it, something back. I get a new path for you coming up. It's very good. I also see a party or a celebration and a partnership, getting along well, harmony in partnership, and a lot of success. You also have a great card here, the Ace of Cups, open heart, blessings, and joy. And I love that. Sometimes I tell people to be careful if it's applicable to you. There's a little fertility on this card, but it's having open heart, blessings, and joy. I love it. Now, your ultimate outcome card is one of waiting. So there's some kind of wait for results or waiting to see what's going to happen or what's going to happen in the world. It seems to be something that's coming up, something important we've got to wait for. Okay, so that's what I have for you.
So Marie, I've got this beautiful card for you that represents you, and it's you probably, I don't know if you can see that. It's probably
like it's this big.
Yeah, it's got lots of pink, lots of amazing colors, and surrender to the sweetness. So that's a Venus energy, which is connected to pleasure, joy. And it says on this card, make love to life. So it's a sensual feminine card. It's a call to surrender to the sweetness of life. Let's really let the abundant feminine take over. Taste the fruits of what you've been working to grow, and let your senses take over. Drink in life, drink in your life. So it's a beautiful sensual card. Enjoy what really matters to you and what's important to you in life. I love that card. But I got really positive cards for you, Marie. Blossoming abundance, so your wealth and value is increasing. It's kind of like springtime for you. The gardens are blossoming. It's all coming up for you, and the universe will bless you with the fruits of your labor. So smell the flowers, be grateful, enjoy, because the really good things are coming to you. And there's also opportunity. So there's some kind of new opportunity coming towards you in your career and financially. It's like a golden city that's opening up, which is also a card very similar, the very, very positive. Prosperity is coming to you, abundance from the universe. And open that door freely. That's going to bring you this wealth, this prosperity. There is a sort of another card I picked, which is a heart center. It's about your heart, and it says you're ready to receive love. You've done some healing from past relationships, and you're ready to let that go and expand your heart, let it shine, and bring forth love. So yeah, love is flowing through you, to you. Abundance is flowing to you. It's very, very positive, Marie.
Thank you, David. I love the way that you do your readings. They're so nice. Like I want whatever to flow into me and all this stuff. It's great. Seashells is next. I'm already ready with her card, so I'm going to go ahead and start. Seashells. You know what? The card that comes down for you is a little bit of conflict, like a little bit of confusion or struggle. So we want to fix that, okay? I do get you thinking about, I've done something, kind of done it, built it up or whatever. I've been with this and I'm ready to let it go. You're thinking about letting it go. And I do see that. And I'll tell you in a minute about that. I get a celebration, almost a party or something coming in the future. Very nice. Past position, even though it's a healing card going in the right direction, you may have taken a short trip. They show me this. They show me feeling like I left out of the money or I should be making more money. Something happened with not getting the money or something. I also feel like there is a trip here for you. And I do get a very money-minded woman. So this could be you or someone else. I feel like somebody that can give good advice or money's important here. Now, we have this issue coming in, and I want to tell you about it. I took more cards to find out. When I get this card, if somebody doing something behind somebody's back or doesn't want anybody to know what's going on, then I take more cards. And so I ask, what's going on where there might be something concealed or secret? I get a job, and I do get somebody being very busy and having a lot of burdens, a lot going on, extra responsibility. Then I have this opportunity, project, new stream of money or a job. And then I have done with it, quit, done, over, severing ties. So something that looks like is coming in. So FY on that. I do get that there is a male that would be helpful, and I do get getting in counseling or talking to others will be helpful, because I do feel like something's going to come in and done without, somebody wanting to know what's going on. And then it's connected to working hard and some kind of project or money or job. And then, okay, I'm done. And it's just a good thing to let that go. And that's what I have for you.
So, seashells. So there is some past disappointments that are still around you. It may just be that picture is a bit old. I don't know when you took that picture, so can also affect the reading. And I picked a karmic relationships card, so there's definitely a sense of soul growth happening and things that may be outside of your point of view, or you're not really understanding why is this happening. It is happening for your growth, and it's kind of out. You just have to go through it and you have to experience it, and don't think that you're a bad person or something wrong with you. You're absolutely perfect. Your soul has just chosen to incarnate in this way and to experience karmic relationships and be part of this polarity. So yeah, I do sense a bit of polarity, and it's part of your experience. And you may have felt conflict, separation. I'd also see that as a gateway or portal to unity and growth. And there's definitely feels like misunderstandings that have come up, and just see different points of view and try to let go of second guessing and trying to understand everything. So that will really help you to, if you don't have this need to understand, just go, all right, that happened. I'm going to let it go. So you kind of taking things quite personally, and that's causing some disturbance and a little bit of suffering. So just try not to take things so personally. Try to let go and open up to different points of view and get back to your innocence, because I feel underlying that is such an innocence and purity, which is really quite lovely. Because actually you have really new beginnings coming up. There's creativity, a creativity card. So the sun is actually rising up. So sunrise is happening, bringing new life and new beginnings. And new light in your life. So this is a time of divine inspiration and personal growth. So that's a very, very positive sign coming up of new beginnings, and also blossoming abundance. So it's showing that there's going to be new opportunities coming in for you, and really try to affirm that every day and see the goodness in your life and be grateful for that goodness, because that's such a beautiful positive card. And also that's saying that there is a shift in your emotion. You're becoming more receptive to love, and there's opportunities to resolve family relationships. And it's saying you're definitely an intuitive woman who understands the emotions of life, and you're bringing more awareness in all that you do. So you're going to get more clarity. There may also be I do feel like there's a female friend stepping forward that may really help balance you. So yeah, Seashells, thank you, and thank you for coming on.
We have time for one more. It's Sandy. Hi, Sandy. Thank you for sharing also. Let me tell you, I have something I have to tell you too here. First card that comes down for you is a card where I usually tell people you might be thinking that you're ready to do something else. Like, I've done this. I need to go do something else. That's where my, future is. And so it's not in your reading. I'm not seeing that. I just feel like this represents you. Like, maybe I need to go on to my future. I get a very strong entrepreneurial card, the energy crossing over you. So it's not in your reading, but we have it here. So don't be surprised if you really get into doing something for yourself and really being successful. I get really good energy there. I get good news ahead as well. Past position is fond memories of the past. I love this card because it can be that we sat down and we really reminisced and we got to think about the past. Sometimes it does mean that there might be an idea in the past that we need to resurrect and bring to the future, by the way. It does show me that you receive something you really want. I feel like if you've networked or you put something out there, let's say you send your ships out and they're empty out into the world and it comes back full of treasure. I feel like whatever you put out, it comes back. Okay. I get a new path for you. Let your intuition guide you, because there's something about either you are a very strong intuitive or you're going to seek them out or something, because I've got the High Priestess card. So I'm going to work through that in just a second. So I do feel like, I'm going to go on this new path. Everything's great. Let your intuition guide you. Okay. Your spirit guides, talk to them. I do feel like that the bigger decisions and opportunities are going to come. Okay. You have to be able to make the decision. Do I do this? These big things. Where in the world am I going to live? This, that, and the other, all these big things. Be ready. Be ready to answer those big questions. I do see a trip for you as well. Now, the reason that I took a lot more cards is because I did get kind of a negative energy card, and right next to it I got being very stuck and like I can't do anything about it. So we don't want that. I took more cards, and I get that this is about a male, and I feel like this male may not have a big strong personality. It's somebody that I want you to be aware of. Be aware, because I do get that there's a secret or somebody not telling you something. I get it's a male. I get maybe he likes to be around the water or outdoors. I don't get a strong personality with this. But nonetheless, I feel like somebody's not going to be telling you something. And we are looking at this in a spiritual thing, because I feel like there's something about psychic readings or intuition or something like that. So if you come across somebody like that, I want you to walk away. All right. And so again, he might seem like he's kind, devoted, and loyal. Sometimes I use this card as a father type of energy. I do feel like we're not telling something's behind somebody's back. I want to tell you it's strong. If you are a psychic, I want you to use your intuition. And if you don't feel that you're that big psychic, then what I want you to do, that this could be somebody that is caught up in that. Okay, could be about that. So be careful, because I do feel like there's something's going to happen and you can't do anything about it. We're not going to let that happen. So I hate to kind of be that bearer of bad news type of thing, but I'm going to tell you what I see. So keep your protections up. Archangel Michael, be around me and everything. Keep that intuition going, that if you feel like something's off, then it's off. Okay. And that's what I have for you, Sandy.
Wow. Thanks, Debbie. That was amazing.
Sorry. But I've helped a lot of people, thousands and thousands of people. So heed that. Yeah, I mean, people can, there's nothing here that says, Sandy, that you can't manifest and work with your angels and everything and make this person not even being around. So you can do that. If you want my book on manifesting, just send me psychicfixes@gmail, send you my book on that. Okay.
Wow, thank you, Debbie. So, Sandy, I was actually connecting to your energy, and I found you very interesting. I found you quite an unusual soul, and it's wonderful you're in Canada, because that's where you're definitely supposed to be. But there's definitely a sense of questioning everything, and you've got a real kind of interesting intellect. It's hard for me to put into words, but I feel like it's very it's very unusual. It's like on some level you're smarter than other people. You don't know what to make of it, and you dumb yourself down, and you change how you interact with them, because you just don't know how to communicate sometimes. I'm not sure if I'm explaining it clearly, because you're an old soul and you're a star seed. So it just means that sometimes just slow down, ground yourself, don't overthink it. That's going to help you. Just be aware that, all right, I'm a little bit different, in a good way, in a powerful way. And that's gonna just soften it, because you're not here to suffer. I just feel people looking at you feel people looking at you a bit curiously, and a little bit like, no, they just don't really know quite what to make of you, and how to position you in their
David,
mind.
read what she, I know you didn't see. Read what she said. Overthinker. Yes, many people don't understand me.
I just feel like you question everything. Like you're just questioning everything. You are this star seed, and that's really powerful. So you're not alone. I just feel like you've felt an isolation and a lack of community, and you're not alone. You're a beautiful soul. It's just important that you soften a little bit, and not take life too seriously, because as I said, you're not here to suffer. So just be really grounded with your needs and desires, and take it really slowly, step by step, and reach out to people in a softer kind of way. Just try to be really specific in how you say, well, I'd really like to spend a bit of time going for a walk with a friend. I'd really like to spend time having coffee with a friend, and it will help. I just feel you struggling in this area, and I feel like it would. I just don't want you to be suffering, Sandy, because it's there's simple ways, and just to reach out to people in a sort of more gentle way that will open doors for you. And it's funny, because other cards are picked for you, the thinking man and the thinking woman, next to each other. So there's a lot of thinking going on here. The thinking man, that's really saying that there could be a thinking man around you as well, and I think you represent the thinking woman. The thinking man, it could be it could be a teacher in your life, or he's about to arrive soon, and he could support you. So I feel like that could be a positive, actually, that there could be a love interest. But with the thinking woman, I believe that reflects you, and she's very conscious, and just be aware to set boundaries. That's really important. And you keep mentioning Archangel Michael, and actually I picked the Archangel Michael card. And so call on Archangel Michael. That's powerful that you're working with him. Just stronger boundaries, stability and security, and connecting this, the blue sword, the blue flame, connecting that into your spine, allowing that to rise up from the base of your spine. So developing the stability and security, and keeping your energy flowing, because I feel like you just get a bit stuck, and you just need to just go out for a walk. Don't overthink it. Keep things simple. Keep taking simple actions. Remember, everything is step by step, and hold your vision. So be strong, be stable, be safe, be secure. And allow Archangel Michael to guide and support you, Sandy. So I do hope that will help you, and I wish you a beautiful day.
Thank you, David. It looks like we were part of her call for help in getting this reading, which is amazing. She said that she has 2 gurus very close to her, and she connects to the high priestess energy, which came up. And this was very sweet. Look at this. You're amazing. Thank you. We're blessed. We're blessed. Happy to be here.
I feel like you are amazing, Sandy. Just need more of a support team to.
Well, she's doing the first thing that's really good. The support team, the angels and the guides and everything, so wonderful. They, I work with them all day long, call upon them for stuff all day long, and they're always there. She says, I'm happy to share you out to group. Thank you. Well, thank you, Sandy. That would be nice. We could get, we were a fairly new show, so and David and I are kind of opposites. So it's fun. It's fun. Thank you, Sandy, so much. You guys, we're past our time a little bit, and we're here Tuesdays at Australian time. Is going to be in the morning. David's in Australia, and I'm in Southern California, so it'll be 3 p.m. That we can see you guys here, and for just a discussion. Please send me an email at psychicfixes@gmail.com. Let me know what topics you want us to talk about. All right. Helen, hi. How are you? Helen's always here. Always happy to see her. Let's see. Oh, let's look at this. Let me bring it up. And here we go. I had been pushing the light away. You are all part of reminding me of the light, and that is accessible to us always. Oh, gosh, that's wonderful. It is. And you guys, best place to be is walking in spirit and having the light around you and communicating during the day. I know for me, it's a lifesaver, and it really does work. That the light in so many ways, walking with spirit, it's just really great. And Sandy, it'll definitely keep you in tune with that great intuition that you have. So, David, good show. Thank you.
Great topics, Debbie. Thank you so much. That was brilliant. And
Kelly, we missed you.
Just a reminder to stay balanced, and the universe, everything around us is this yin and yang, this dualities, and we can transcend the duality, we can transcend the polarity, and always play, love who you are, love that you can be, love others. And we don't have to be alone or separate. We can always have each other to connect to, and create this masterpiece of life.
Oh, well said. All right, you guys, please come back next Tuesday. We'll love to do some readings and talk about the cosmos with David Starlyte. David takes donations. There is very appreciative of that, and his links and stuff are in the description. So we're going to take off for now. David, you stay here so I could say goodbye. And everybody, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next.